I am so delighted to welcome you on this day, to welcome you to what we thought was unexpected snow. I'll say more about that in a minute. To welcome all of us to this opportunity to be in community together and enjoy each other and relish each other and just take this moment for all it is. You know, carpe diem is more than a saying. It's an experience. It's really being alive in the moment. Not just the day, but being alive in the moment. And then the next moment, and then the next moment. I'm Rev Ann Rea, and I'm excited to remind you all, hi everybody online, to remind you all that I am the ever irrepressible senior minister serving this, with this, for this incredible community, the Everyday Center for Spiritual Living. Woo! Yeah. Woo! So today is week 3 of our walk through the basics. What a lot of us who have been studying this philosophy for a long time refer to as the basics of this philosophy known as the science of mind. And last week we talked about what it is and isn't. And the it that I'm speaking of is the one life, the one power, the one presence, spirit, universe, Howard. I'm deferring to our dear friend Kate, who's visiting from Northern California, who happens to have a giant redwood in her backyard. Wow. Actually, 2 of them, but Howard is the giant one. And so Howard has to be included, of course. And today, we're talking about what it does. And the most important thing I could tell you about what it does is that it doesn't do it without you. Now, it's not that there's nothing that it does without us, because it could wait forever for us to be willing to be the vehicle for this creativity, for this momentum, for this instrument of joy and provision and solution and resolution and anything else that we can imagine, and then times 10, times 10, times 10. It could wait forever for us to go, okay. You know, sort of like the fellow that Reverend Ann Rea shared with us about, who was so convinced that he couldn't pass the bar. And meanwhile, if we were to give spirit a personality, and I talked about that last week, I'll talk more about it this week, but it doesn't have one. Anyway, but if it did, I can imagine it standing around going, okay. You know, it's impossible for you to pass the bar, and you're convinced that it's impossible for you to pass the bar, and okay. change your mind, let me know. So, in the last 24 hours, and actually starting before that, we had a similar thing happening in our home that wasn't as significant as passing the bar, at least in everyone's mind. But in one mind, it was pretty significant. Our friend Kate, who is here from Northern California, as I mentioned, was very disappointed that we did not have snow in our forecast when she was coming here. I mean, really disappointed. And there was a lot of, to both Denise and I, there was a lot of, well, the least you could have done was arranged some kind of, token, fresh snow, the least you could have done. And I kept saying to Kate, wait, just wait. I'm working on it. Just wait. So I don't know exactly when the moment came. But the moment came when Kate knew that it was going to snow. And snow showed up on the forecast. But it was going to be token. And all the while, practitioner emeritus Denise Lizzie is saying, it's not going to snow.
Should have come last week.
It's not going to snow. But this is such a perfect illustration of what I'm talking about. Because Kate was up all night, like an 8-year-old, watching for the snow to come. And when her eyes wouldn't stay open any longer, it came. And then she was up the rest of the night watching it snow. What that is, I mean, I feel like I've been handed the Holy Grail. What that is a perfect illustration of is the difference that it makes when we're asking or hoping and not believing. And when we have faith. Now, Kate could not have explained why. She was convinced it was going to snow. She couldn't have explained why. Maybe it was because she believed in my connections. I don't know. But my connections are the same as your connections. Oh, except that then there's Missy. Hi, sweetheart. But Kate knew. And you know, when I say she sat up all night like an 8-year-old, we do that when we're little. We're just so convinced that something great is going to happen, or somebody wonderful is going to walk in the door, or whatever the case is, that we have that wonder and that anticipation, which is different, let me just say, very significantly, it is different from expectation. Anticipation is different from expectation. Expectation is attached at the hip to disappointment.
Yep.
Not kidding. Any of us, which I would venture to say includes all of us, whether you're here or online, have had the experience of expecting something from someone else and being disappointed.
Yeah.
Feeling disappointed. Feeling let down. And they may have promised. They may have said for sure, I'll handle it. Or I'll be there. Or you can count on me. And then they didn't. And they weren't. Anticipation is what Kate was feeling while she was waiting for the snow to come. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to watch, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to watch, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to watch, and it's going to come. That's anticipation. And that is what fires our dreams into reality. So it isn't about waiting for something somewhere to be sufficiently pleased with us or sufficiently pleased with our behavior or at least not mad in the moment. It's not about an outer entity. Because that outer entity is inner.
Yes.
Inner. And it's, you know, there's a quote from the Bible. Some of them are okay. A quote from the Bible that says, it is God's great pleasure to give us the kingdom.
That's right.
However, the issue with even that quote is it's already been given.
Right.
It's already been given. And it's for us to allow, to discover, to anticipate, to be excited about, to be willing, to be open to. Many of us carry around a lot of old, moldy piles of smelly, you get the idea.
Socks.
Socks, good. They were never true. They aren't true now. And as the people we are today, which is what?
New.
New. Don't just take my word for it. Check out modern science. As the people we are today, it's time to, as Jackie does every single day, clean out the stall.
Amen.
Just really, if it's not serving us, if it's not nurturing us, if it's not encouraging us, if it's not calling us forward to live our best life, then we no longer are available to it.
Right.
If we decide that. You know, we can, let me see how I can clean this up. We can moan. And poor me, all we want about all of the things that have gone awry in our past. Whether we were engaged in them going awry, or it was somebody else's choices and we were at the affect of them. We can. We can carry on. We can just, oh, poor me. We can spend our life regretting or feeling ticked off about whatever it is.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Right.
No judgment. I'm just saying it's a waste. Because this now moment is the moment of change and creation.
Yeah.
This very one. This very one. This very one. And it is not a moment we can get back.
Right.
We could go, oh, rats. I meant to do that then. Forget about it. A friend of mine says that with a real New York accent. It has a lot more something.
Juice.
Yeah, juice. Exactly. Forget about it. What do you want to do now?
Yeah.
What do you want to do next? Maybe you don't know what you want to do next. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because what you want to do now, to experience now, to enjoy now, to share now, to engage in now is the only thing that matters.
Right.
You know, it didn't take us 20 minutes to get here. Well, maybe it did on the road today. But it didn't take us 20 minutes to get here in terms of our lives. There isn't a single one of us that's 20 minutes old. So why in the world would we think that in 20 minutes that we should be all squared away? Why would we think that? It can be. It can be. It can be instantaneous. Somebody snap their fingers because mine aren't snapping right now. It can happen just that way. Like the snow this morning. But it doesn't all the time. Sometimes it doesn't because we don't believe it can. Sometimes it doesn't because there needs to be in the world beyond our seeing, there needs to be some things shifted and changed to open the way for what it is that we are calling forward in ourselves or from our life, as our life, in our life. So it can be instantaneous, and it might not be. And it doesn't mean that it is not the will of God for us to have it. There is no such thing as a will of an entity that is against its own nature.
Right.
And its nature is to thrive. Its nature is to nourish. Its nature is to encourage. Its nature is to find something cool and new to create. Its nature is to be excited and to be in love and to be supportive, plus, all those other qualities that I could name, 100% of the time, 24/7. Because you know there really is no time or space in the world around us. I'm not speaking about the earth. I'm speaking about the universe. Sure, they've carved it into fractals and light years and all these other things, but that's just to make us comfortable.
Right.
Because to think about something that is so big that it cannot be contained, that is so powerful that it cannot be just put into some kind of a mechanism where it's going to go in a direction we would choose. That's not how it works. That's not what it does. What it does, it responds to our belief.
Right.
By corresponding. So the short version is that there is, both in spiritual law and natural law, there is a law of correspondence. Kate, I'm going to use your story again, created, not consciously, mind you, but she created a container for the snow to come. And she held her anticipation on that container until it came. She had no doubt. Well, maybe a little. But she kept talking herself into having no doubt. And sometimes that's what we have to do. Especially if what it is that we are calling forward or calling out from ourselves doesn't happen instantaneously.
Yeah.
We have to keep the fire stoked. You know, we have to keep reminding ourselves, if I create the container, it will be filled. If I create the space in me for this to come forward, for this to show up, for this to be my life experience, that or better is what I can count on.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no question. That or better is what we can count on. Now, there are a lot of people that don't know this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because we keep it a secret. These teachings have happened throughout time and throughout cultures all over our world. And they have been changed, they've been manipulated, they've been edited, they've been all kinds of things. Because somebody thought that that was going to be a better way to get people to behave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, frankly, I don't care if you don't behave. Ask Stephen. Misbehaving ain't misbehaving. Misbehaving is fun, and we're supposed to have fun.
Yes.
Are there people in the world who are not?
Yes.
Does that mean they screwed up?
No.
Right. That means that they are at the effect of other people's choices, as well in some cases as their own. It's not a punishment,
Right.
even though it looks punishing. It is not a divine punishment. No matter what the spokespersons say, on whichever channel they say it.
That's right.
What can we do? We can be living proof that this philosophy is active in our lives all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We can be peace. We can be love. We can be kindness. We can be generosity. We can be the revelation of how this life that I speak of expresses as me and as you, because it's unique to each of us. That's what it does.
Mm.
That's what it does. And so it is.
And so it is.